What's up, YouTube? It's Coach Cory. Today, I'm going to give you guys a guide on how to play deep hollows. The best teams, the best tips. Let's get into it. Alright, so we are talking about the Thrower's Paradise map, Deep Hollows. Deep Hollows tends to be, I mean, let's be honest, it's the favorite map for throwers in any gem grab map. Mushroom Cave, another thrower-friendly map, but this one is really thrower-friendly. So, let's start out by going over the best teams for Deep Hollows, and then I'll go into some of my best tips in general for Deep Hollows. And then we'll do some live gameplay. We got some games versus some top players, so stick around for that. Alright, starting out, Deep Hollows has those 4 horizontal walls that make it really friendly for throwers. It gives them a place to hide behind, and it also creates distinct lanes where people have to be forced to go either one way or the other, and as a thrower, you know pretty well, or you can guess pretty well what direction they're going to go, which is very key to getting hits as a thrower. So on this map, you're gonna want at least as a minimum 1 thrower. A Barley or Dynamite is pretty much required on this map, almost required. And honestly, you could go with both of them as well. But instead, what a lot of people tend to do is they tend to pick one of those brawlers, Barley or Barley or Dynamite. Oops, I gave away where I was going. And then they also take Spike, who is a bit of a thrower. Not quite as much, but he can go around walls, very similar range to throwers. And his super is an area denial super that works really well, similar to a thrower's super. So you want at least one of those, a Barley or Dynamite, and then a lot of times you also want a Spike. Spike is really good. That combo together of Spike with Barley and Dynamite works really well. Spike can counter those aggressive brawlers. Any aggro brawler you face, Spike is going to be a really good counter to them. And he also can be decent versus other throwers. And in general, he's just really good right now. Now for your gem carrier, of course, Poco is the best gem carrier in total right now. So Poco is going to be your #1 choice no matter what at the moment in the current meta. But otherwise, there's 2 other brawlers you can run, and I'm only going to recommend, well, okay, I guess there's 3 sort of. My second favorite brawler on Deep Hollows as a gem carrier is going to be Penny. Penny, honestly, I think is a little bit underrated, but the main reason for this is because of her mortar. And I mean, think about it. It's a thrower's paradise. Her mortar is sort of like an extra thrower. So you can go with 1 thrower, and then you can go with Penny, and you can go with Nita. Nita is going to be my other preferred brawler besides the ones I mentioned on this map. But Penny as gem carrier, her mortar can be really good. It helps spawn trap the enemy. Of course, it goes over walls. And if you can get a spawn trap going, that 12 tile range on her mortar can be insane because it can make it really hard to get out of that spawn trap because they can't even get within range of that mortar without taking a lot of damage. So I'm going to recommend Poco and then Penny, and then Pam as well is another good option as a gem carrier. After that, it's probably Jessie. Jessie's okay, but with so many throwers, her turret tends to go down pretty quickly. So it's not my favorite gem carrier. Now, as far as overall team comps, just to go over them really quickly, I'm going to recommend Poco, and then Barley or Dynamite, and then a Spike. That's going to be my favorite, most preferred team comp. After that, it's going to be Poco, Barley or Dynamite, and then Nita. Nita is also pretty strong on this map. The main weakness with Nita is if you face a double thrower with Spike. Spike can counter Nita if the Spike keeps its distance, and that can be really hard. A good Spike will counter a Nita for the most part. So that can be hard, but otherwise Nita is really good on this map. Those walls do also favor Nita. Nita is good at shooting around walls and doesn't need to be like super close range, can just be medium range and get a lot of chip shots. And also those bears tend to actually work pretty well versus throwers and also versus Poco because it can take them a good amount of hits to take down that bear. After that, there's not many brawlers I really like on this map. Mortis can work decently well on Deep Hollows because there's a lot of throwers, right? And Mortis is especially good versus Dynamite. He's pretty decent versus Barley. So if you run a Mortis, I would recommend Poco, Mortis, and then probably a thrower like Brawler or Dynamite. You could maybe go with Spike as well. But as the Mortis, you basically want to follow a Dynamite around the whole time. Don't pick up gems if you can, except as a last resort, and just follow around that Dynamite. That is definitely your main job. If they don't have a Dynamite, try and follow around a Barley or just work those matchups in general. Yeah, I don't really recommend any other Brawlers. Those are going to be definitely the ones that are the best by far. There are some other Brawlers that are like okay, like Tara is in general really good in gem grab. She's not as good on this map, but she's still usable. There's some other Brawlers that are usable. I don't really want to go into them because I honestly recommend you just use the ones I mentioned. Alright, so now let's talk about positioning on this map and lanes in general. In a lot of gem grab maps, you usually want to have the aggro go on one side of the map and the support brawler go on the other. On this map, it's not so clear. It's not as important to start on one side or the other. In general, I do recommend the thrower start on the left side, but the most important thing on deep hollows is matchups. If you have, let's say you're running the preferred team comp, Barley, Spike, and Poco, okay? Let's say you're running that. In general, as the thrower, and I'm gonna call the thrower Barley in this case, you always want to face off versus the other enemy thrower. Now, Spike can do okay versus throwers, and maybe at the start of the map, you can get away with it and get that first kill, but otherwise, you generally want to switch onto that thrower as your other brawler is going to have a much easier time on whoever the other brawler on the other team is. It's probably going to be, if it's not a thrower, it's probably going to be a Nita, it might be another Spike, it might be a different sort of aggro brawler. Your other brawler is going to fare much better versus that brawler than versus a thrower. So as a thrower, you always want to go versus a thrower. It tends to be the most even matchup, and it tends to not create disadvantages for your team. So when you see that happen, if you see the thrower on the other side of the map, you do want to try and switch with your other teammate. Now, you don't want to just try and switch right away. If you do that at the very start of the game and not realize it, and you end up taking a good amount of damage, it can be hard to overcome that. So you want to maybe try and get that first kill first, or maybe one of you dies and then you can switch. But honestly, that is my most important tip on Deep Hollows, is play the matchups. You want to try and match up versus the brawler that you do best against. That's very, very important on Deep Hollows. Another small thing I recommend is at the start of the games, destroy those skeletons. You'll see us do this in the gameplay, but those skeletons can get in the way a little bit, and really they don't help you at all anyway. So at the start of the game, when you have those extra shots, no enemies in range, just take a quick second and destroy those skeletons. Alright, let's get into some live gameplay. Here we go, instant match. Probably a top team facing Mortis, Nita, Poco. So they don't have any throwers, they got a lot of health. We gotta be very careful. Now obviously, I gotta be careful versus that Mortis. And here goes, the Mortis is on me. I'm gonna hopefully just sort of like ignore the Mortis and go for everyone else. I want my Poco to help out versus the Mortis, the Nita to help out versus Mortis as much as possible, and I focus on everything else, hopefully. That is the goal, but now our Poco's dead. We kind of need our Nita to really focus on the Mortis. This is what's going on right now, so that's good. I didn't get the heal, missed the heal, but that's okay. I think we can get this back. Oh, lag. Don't like that. Okay, now we can maybe set up a small spawn trap. What is this Mortis doing? Mortis went Rambo. So now I think, I wonder if our Nita can escape here. I think so. Oh, a little bit too high, but we got the heal, and that's going to be good game. Once our Nita switched onto that Mortis, it was very hard for them. They have an interesting team comp. If you have a disciplined team, it's easy to counter. If you play the matchups, you can counter it. But if that Dynamite is constantly fighting the Mortis, it will be tough. Here we go, another instant match. I guess a lot of top players are in our double thrower. This is going to be a little bit hard for us. If their Spike plays really well against our Nita, Spike usually beats Nita. It's going to be very hard to beat. So we'll see how it starts out. No, looks like we're going to get a little bit of a lead here. We're going to get those first 3 gems. And again, you're seeing right now, Spike on Nita. That was very tough for our Nita. Nita gets some damage, so that's always good. Oh, the Dynamite tried to be tricky. Tried to jump away from shots. And he keeps going backwards. Not quite working. I don't need to like waste my shots on this. I'm just gonna wait and see. Oh, he's dead. Okay, good. He blew up a wall too. Gonna hit the Poco. Didn't really need to hit it, but it's gonna keep them in their spawn at least a little bit longer. Oh, let's go like this. It's gonna be great damage to keep them in their spawn. And that dynamite is low. Okay, that's fine too. Because I didn't need to kill him. I mean, that just went much better than you would normally maybe expect. But we still don't quite have it. Now, I do have super, so hopefully we can keep them in their spawn long enough. Okay, gonna hit the Poco at the least, but their damage dealers are up. I am working this dynamite pretty well. It's the main thing we have going for us. I want to keep him back. Oh, let's super this. I think we can get this right here. And we can see, even though that spike on Nita matchup wasn't very favorable, we're able to win basically my side. And then honestly, I mean, the Nita did pretty well too. Poco as well. And that's going to be a good game. I think their spike maybe didn't keep his distance as well as possible. I'm not quite sure. I didn't watch that side as much as often, but definitely a good game. Here we go, another instant match. 3 in a row. This time we got Spike Mortis. Interesting. So I'm going to want to be on that Spike. So we'll see where the Mortis is. Okay, Mortis is going to start going for me probably. And, okay, we're going to get good damage here. Oh, now I'm too high. Here we go. Caught the Poco. Nice. I did not expect to actually come out of that alive. Another Mortis is going to go a little bit jump carry here. We're going to be okay with that. It's not the end of the world. Okay, I really don't want to be targeting this Mortis at all. It's going to be wasteful shots. I'm not going to hit him that much. Now, here we go. We're going to get maybe a team kill here. Let's see if we can get this Mortis. He's going to give us those gems. Hopefully, I'm going to try and keep this spawn trap up while they are doing that. Okay, there we go. Oh, nice. Going to damage both of them. And we should be able to finish off that Poco. There goes the Spike as well. 9 gems. Just need 1 more. And we were able to keep them basically team killed. Keep them separate from each other. Now, we do have to be careful a little bit about this Mortis. But with the bear there, I don't think we have too much to fear. Spike as well. I mean, Spike's not going to be able to fight through this, I don't think. Do have a super. May as well use it. Nice. 3 games in a row. 3 quick matches. 3 wins? I'll take it. Alright, that's going to be it for my Deep Hollows guide. If you want some more map guides in general for Gem Grab or other maps, link above and at the end of the video. Guys, I hope you enjoyed this one. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you later.